Hey everyone, it's RevTrev here from Kempner Canucks. Hope you're doing well on the eve of the Canucks Oilers big matchup, round two. Very excited to see these two teams clash. I do think it's going to be an incredible battle. I'm actually really excited to see how these two teams go at each other. It's the matchup I was hoping for. And so a lot of things are aligning. And I know a lot of people are upset because the Canucks and Edmonton are playing each other and they want a Canadian team to, couple Canadian teams to advance. Well, they're the last two. So we know that there's going to be one team going into the top four that's from Canada. And so a lot of Canadian fans of Canada, of hockey, are excited about that, especially Canadian hockey fans. And so it's exciting. It's totally exciting. Yeah. So, but I want to make this video because it's a different video for me. It's a very different video for me. It's been one that I've been debating on whether to make because, but it is bothering me enough to say, you know what, I think it's worth to be said. And so tonight I want to talk about trash talk and has it gone too far? Has it gone too far? So that's really what I want you to post in the comments. Do you think the trash talk's gone too far? Because I'm feeling like it is going too far. It's going too far. And so let's talk about, let's dive into this. I know that this is not my normal live stream. I know that this is not, my normal pump up video, but I think it's something that needs to be talked about and maybe even addressed. So we want to, has the trash talk gone too far? I'm a guy, I love getting into debates with fans, with other fans of talking about teams, who's the greatest, my team's better than yours. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. When I come into those things, I'm not there just to try to make someone just look foolish, but I want to come with facts. I know a lot of people have a hard time going in those conversations with me because they want to talk about their feelings and I want to talk about the facts. And so there are some facts that we can't get over, right? Like, there's some things that you can't get around, but, try to flip the switch a little bit. But so I know I'm kind of rambling on here, but I want to set this up in such a way because what I'm seeing right now is trash talk from our fan base that I think has gone over the line. And I think that we can be better. We can do better. So a lot of you have seen the young Canucks fan who has gotten a lot of press lately and said some pretty vulgar, rude things. And there's one thing to be about a fan and saying a team is terrible or, we're better than them. It's another thing to go over the line. And so when I watched that, and I understand you're in the crowd, you're in the moment, you're kind of all riled up and everyone's kind of cheering you on and you might do some things that you might regret later on, or maybe not. I'm not sure. I just, as a dad, I was thinking about my kids who are much older. And if that was my son, I would be so embarrassed and mortified that my kid was talking like that. Now, I know every parents differently or can parent differently, and I'm not really here to criticize this young man, even though I don't think what he did, he should have done. But the adults were acting the exact same way. And some of the things that they're saying and some of us as fans, like, we got to think about, like, what are we saying? And me on this channel, I'm not a person who swears or I don't like that kind of stuff. I try to keep it clean and I have no problem with the bit of trash talk. And I like, the going back and forth, but I feel like all of this is going too far. And then Ryan Whitney from the Spitting Chicklets jumped into the conversation, and he's a big Oilers fan, and he wanted to talk about this young man, the way he talked about this young man was so rude and disrespectful. And I'm sitting there going, Ryan, like, you're acting just like this young fan. The way you talk, and I get it. You're now going to do a rant, okay? And I'm all for rants. Don't get me wrong. Boy, the Oilers are better, but you went after that young man. You also went after our fan base, and you called us, the worst fans in the NHL, or at least we're in the top two. That Leaf fans might be worse. And so that's the question. Are Canucks fans the worst fans in the NHL? Can I just say something about these kind of comments? This is what drives me nuts about these kind of comments. Every fan base has delusional fans. Every fan base has homer fans. Every fan base has biased fans. Every fan base has realistic fans. Every fan base has some crazy people out there, and we're seeing some of those people, coming out and getting their 15 minutes of fame or whatever, right? But every fan base has that, and say this one's worse than this one, and it's like, really, it's all context. Like, I know incredible people in every single fan base. You know me, I do not like the Boston Bruins. I do not like the Flames, but some of the greatest people I know are Flames fans. Is every Flames fan a bad person? No. Is every Boston Bruins fan who cheers for a guy like Marchand, that is known for being, the way he plays, not the plays, but the extracurricular stuff that people don't like, it's just unfair to say the whole fan base are rotten. The whole fan base are the worst, and it's so funny because now the Oilers fans are like all over us, and they're coming. Here's the thing. This is what drives me bonkers as well. Is like the Oilers are coming at us like crazy, but we haven't been good in a long time. And it's like the one time we're good, you're like freaking out. It's like it's almost like you're getting jealous because we have the spotlight, because we are good. It's not like we're not good. It's we are good. We are the Pacific Division champs of this season. Like, yeah, we haven't been in the playoffs in a long time. Nobody is saying that we are or aren't. That and I know that, sorry, no one's saying that. No one's saying that like we're the best team in the league. Now, there are fans in our fan base saying we're going to win the cup. Of course they are. Will we? I don't think we will, but I'm hoping we do, and I'm going to cheer this team on like we're going to win. I didn't predict the Vancouver Canucks to win the playoffs this year. I did predict us to make the playoffs. I did predict us, excuse me, to get to win against Nashville in 6. Excuse me. But I don't think we're the worst fan base in the league. Now, we might be the worst fan base in the league because of two things. Two things that have happened. We've had 2 riots. That's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed as a fan that our fan base has rioted twice. Once is too much. So I'm not, and I get it. Everyone goes there with us. They're the worst fans because the way they act online or whatever. It's like, okay, that's one thing. But then it's like, yeah. And then whenever you get in an argument, yeah, but you guys, you rioted. Yeah. You know what? And it's truth. Unfortunately, it's truth. There's a ton of great Canucks fans that weren't a part of that condemn those things. And here we are. And so now our whole fan base is terrible because of that. Yeah, I get why people can say that. But man, every fan base has some brutal, brutal people in it. So here's the thing about Ryan Whitney's comments, okay? You do this too. You trash talk, you do your thing, you go on rants because you're getting clicks. I get it. It's clickbait. I get it. It causes stir. It causes people talking about it. It works, right? Like, I get it. I get it, man. but I think you've gone too far too. And so I actually responded to Ryan's comments, and I respect him as a former player. I respect him as a content creator, but I don't like the way that he talks. I don't like the vulgarness, but that's just his. And I understand, like, in sports and on the ice, they say some really nasty things to one another. I'm not condoning that. I just know that happens. And I'm not trying to be self-righteous here. I'm just saying I think we all need to be better. Maybe even me. Like, maybe I'm speaking to myself here, but I do think, and I'm okay with going the back and forth. I think it's fun. I think there's some, but I think there's a line. The problem is it's hard to find where the line is, everyone. Where's the line where you cross? And that's probably the toughest part. So let me just show you. I'm going to share with you the post. And this is what kind of started stirring it up. I'm going to share the screen here. Okay, so the Hockey Spotlight responded to Ryan Whitney's comment saying, nice to see Ryan Whitney keeping it classy. Hope they show this video to the players, #Canucks. And Ryan actually responded and says, Canuck fans already crying, the softest fan base in the league. Keep it classy. It's the playoffs, you morons. And so I wanted to speak out to this. And I said this. Just a heads up, I'm not crying. I'm cheering for my Canucks. The Oilers haven't won a cup since the Gretzky-Messier era, and you have all that talent, and you keep failing. I'm not even trolling you. I'm speaking the truth. You can insult us all you want, but the truth hurts. The truth hurts. And that's what he was going on. He's like, I hate Canucks fans, and I hate these guys, and you're the worst. And it's like, bro. And then you're like, you've done nothing. Yes, you're right. We have not won a cup. We have not won a Stanley Cup. That is a factual statement that you made. Yes. Yeah. In our long history of being in this league, we've never won a cup. But we've had some good teams. And I would even argue some great teams that came very close, but we didn't win at all. But here's the weird thing about it, man. And that's what I shot back there, is like, you can insult us all you want, man. But the fact is, you never won a cup. The Oilers have not won a cup since 1990. A lot of fans were never even born yet. Like, it's been a minute, right? Like, the Oilers fans and who hang on, and rightfully so 5 cups, but I watched all 5 of those cups. I grew up watching that. Those are phenomenal teams. That's probably why I have so much respect for the Oilers as a franchise. But if you're going to come at us with that and say we're a garbage team, we've never won anything. I mean, I understand that, you might not value some of the other things of getting to the finals and going to Game 7. And I mean, you guys, Oilers went to the finals with Rolison in net. How come? Like, I respect that. I think that's good. But according to your standards, it means you don't think that matters. I think that was incredible. I thought you were going to win the cup. That's what I thought. But you didn't. But I think President's trophies are good. I think winning playoff rounds is good. But so I don't know how you're all feeling about this, but I just think as Canuck fans and as NHL fans of whatever team, that we all just need to be better. And you're not going to see, like, you'll see pushback, but you're going to see a lot of, like, stuff from me. You're going to see a lot of stuff from me. I want to maybe dive into one last thing, and this is one of I'm just having fun, but my predictions video that just happened, and by the way, has done really well. So thankful for people who've been watching my videos. But a guy comes in and he literally says this, okay? This is his comment to me on my predictions video. He says, "You are insane. Vancouver will never sweep Edmonton. What a joke." Now, normally I just well, maybe not normally. A lot of times I let this go. But this one I'm not letting go because, first of all, he's accusing me of something I didn't do. So I literally responded back, did you watch the video? Did you listen? I never said that Vancouver will sweep Edmonton. I said it's possible, just like it's possible that the Oilers could sweep Vancouver. That's what I was mentioning. And I said, and you're saying it's impossible? That's not true. I said Vancouver swept Edmonton this year already. I'm sure you would have said that there's no way Vancouver would sweep the Oilers in the regular season, but it happened. What I did say is I predicted Vancouver to win in 7. I think it's going to be a great series and definitely worth watching. He responded this way: swept with the team in the dumper at the beginning of the year and no McDavid final game. Live streaming. Can't wait to troll your fans. Really? That's where you're going to get your joy? Okay. So then I responded, I said, and I laughed. I said, the Oilers are really, really good at making excuses for their losses. It's true, isn't it? And then I said, that's what they do every single year. You haven't won, and I used the same line I said to Ryan, since the Gretzky/Messier era. You have all that talent and you keep failing. I'm not even trolling you, but I'm speaking the truth. And then this guy responds back and says, we'll see in a few days. Don't cry too much. I love that. So then I said, so let's just look at what's going on in this conversation. You're accusing me of saying something I didn't. I never said Vancouver will sweep Edmonton. I said I can see every scenario happening. I did say we will win in 7. I think it's hilarious that I'm coming to you with facts and you're the one who's talking about crying. That's exactly what Oilers fans do. They make excuses for their losses. You think you are great, but you might only be good. I think the Oilers are good, but I'd be shocked if they won the Stanley Cup this year. If your Oilers beat my Canucks, and in brackets I put, which I doubt will happen, I won't be crying, but I will be disappointed. I think it's you that might be crying, but don't cry. Just be thankful you have McDavid and Draisaitl. Be thankful your team was in the playoffs again, that you get to watch your team play playoff hockey in May. My team has never won, but we're heading in the right direction. That you get to watch. Then I said, I'm excited about the present and future of this team. Have a nice day and go Canucks go. And he responds with some golfing emojis. And I'm like, great comeback. Baha, laughing. I think that's in good fun. That's in good fun. I don't mind that going back and forth. But see, what he's accusing us of, it's like, you guys have no chance. I understand 1,000% that the playoffs are a different animal. But the idea that Vancouver Canucks have no chance of beating the Edmonton Oilers, who we've just swept in the season series, everyone says, hey, Vancouver or Winnipeg was kicking Colorado's butt in the regular season. Look what happened to them in the playoffs. I know. But when you did your playoff predictions, you probably looked at the regular season series and probably made some predictions because of that. I think a lot of people, including myself, picked Winnipeg to beat Colorado because of those games that Winnipeg beat Colorado 7-0, everyone. So I just think it's fun to go back and forth a little bit, but I don't want to be using vulgar and brutal conversation, and I'm just having a hard time with it. And maybe we all just need to be better. Anyways, appreciate you being here. I have 75 comments in here. 75 comments. Personalized says, I am shocked at all the trash talk. No class whatsoever. I am now seeing it from both fan bases. And we understand Personalized. I get it. Oilers and Canucks fans, it's a rivalry. We're in the same division. I'm totally cool with us having some rivalry. I get it. I don't mind it. But there's gross things happening in both fan bases, right? Gross stuff. You know, I don't know. East Coast trolls. I think there's West Coast trolls too. I agree that trash talk is normal and a fun part. Fun banter is par, of course, in the playoffs. It's just that Canadian fans are the most passionate. Jax, you're right. We are the most passionate, right? Yeah, and he's trying to stir it up. Sparky, Ryan Whitney is trying to stir it up with Canucks fans. He is frustrated what he's seen on Scott Road and the celebrations and what he saw with this young man. I understand that he's pushing back, but he's gone after our entire fan base on purpose to get clicks, to be relevant, to be, you know, whatever you want to do to stir it up. I get it, but we've been working on creating a picture of Free Willy where Finn escapes an oil spill. Yeah, I did see that one of the Canucks. Oil and and water don't mix. That was pretty creative by them. I want to be careful. So what I post here, passion is good. Some trash talk is fun. Vulgar is crossing the line. That's good. That's a good point, Monty. Callum says, I predicted that the Vancouver Canucks are going to win the Stanley Cup and are meeting the Rangers or Bruins in the finals. You might be right. Everyone's going to say, you're wrong. You're out at lunch. You're a homer. You're biased. Until it happens, right? There's nothing wrong with believing in your team. I think it's great that Oilers fans think that they're going to win the Stanley Cup. You should think you're going to win the Stanley Cup, but I don't think you're going to beat us. And that's the thing. So, yeah, I don't know if I see that. I think this is too far, Mike. I don't know if I wouldn't even call him a clown, to be honest. But he's not a drug addict, man. Yeah, see, it's too much. Shelving shells. There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. Now I understand that happens. Like Bruins and Leafs fans are not nice to each other, right? There's some pretty bad stuff out there. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, Canucks, Flames fans, name whatever rivalry, Islanders versus Rangers, throw in the New Jersey Devils that are in that area too. They don't like each other. I'm sure Florida and Tampa Bay don't love each other. You know, it's not about that. And Roberto Luongo says, go Canucks. Yeah, absolutely. Go Canucks. Good to see you. Welcome. I don't know if he was slurring his words. I want to be careful what we say about Ryan Whitney, everyone. So, everyone has their own opinions about the lines being crossed. My line is talking about hurting players intentionally on the other team. Well, that happened in our stream, and a lot of people came at us, right? A lot of people came at us because of that. And I think people were joking in the stream, but maybe they were serious. And I did say to people, I'm not hoping that McDavid or Draisaitl or whoever gets hurt. When Raymond broke his back against Boston, that was awful. That was awful. Nobody should be cheering that on. No one should cheer if someone gets injured. Yeah, so I cross the line. Most major cities have riots for one reason or another. Toronto, G20, Winnipeg labor riots. People actually died in that. Our Stanley Cup riot, it sucks, but it happens sometimes. And you know what? It needs to stop. Jax, you're right. But it doesn't make it okay, right? And police will be better prepared, and people need to be less stupid this time. Here's the other thing, Jax, that was really interesting about that is in 94 when this happened, they didn't have a lot of cameras that were filming everything, but in 2011, everyone had a cell phone. The amount of footage they had, the amount of fines that went out, people are not going to do that again. It hit the wallet. They were exposed. It was crazy. And now it's even worse. Everyone has a cell phone. Everyone will film things. And that is, I think people won't do it again. Ooh. I don't mind Brendan Morrison stuff. I don't think we should. You have the opinion that you don't appreciate his stuff. I think he's, I like listening to him. He's a former fan or former player. I mean, and he's a fan. I like listening to his takes. So, 10 years in prison started a riot in the city. I don't know what that means, but Nucks have never had a generational talent gifted to them. Oilers have had two now. Yeah, you're right, Jax. You're totally right. I mean, we've had some good players. I think Pavel Bure was unbelievable. I don't think he was the generational talent, but he was elite. You know, I think we've got a few of those players in our franchise. But yeah, Edmonton's been blessed. I don't know. Bure, Luongo, maybe. I mean, I don't know if I'd even say he was a generational talent. He was the best goalie in Vancouver history. I think Quinn Hughes could be, but it's too early to tell. And Jim, okay, Oilers in 4. You're entitled to your opinion. Go for it. I have no problem if you think that. I disagree, but I have no problem with that. Yeah, see, I think the Canucks are going to win in 7. Exactly. None of them are comparable. Gretzky or McDavid. Great players, but not comparable. I agree. Whitney calls us the fans in the league for that kid video. And he was talking about more than that. If you watch his video, he actually said it's a lot of things that we've done. I think riots are one of them for sure, but just things that he said he's always couldn't stand our fan base. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's not good. It's not good. Oilers will win the cup. I mean, maybe. I don't think the Oilers are winning the cup. I did not predict them to win the cup. You know what's crazy, Jim, is if whoever wins this series, I'll probably cheer for them to win the cup. But I don't think Edmonton's great. I think they're good. They're not great. But we'll find out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's this year's their year. They have a lot of pressure on them. It's that cup or bust mentality is really difficult. Really difficult. Yeah, we had Sundin and Messier, but that doesn't. Messier played terribly for us. Angelo says our boys are going to wake up. They're going to have Höglander, Pettersson, Garland, McCabe, Lafferty, and Joshua. They're all going to play well. That's great. Yes, Oilers have had insane luck from the moment they entered the league, but had Gretzky day one, no salary cap, could have built the dynasty around him. And I think they did. They should never have traded him. They needed money. So, Canucks have never won. Oil have won 5 times. Jim, did you not hear what I talked about? The last time you won was 1990. You know how long ago that was? We're talking 34 years ago. Like, you won. Okay, we haven't won. Yeah, you did, because you had one of the greatest teams of all time. Since then, what? What? You've had some good teams. Look, you've never won the cup with McDavid. That's insane. Yeah, every team does this. You said Canucks in 4. I think that's too bold, but you're welcome to say that. I didn't say that. But you know what? What if, Ricky, let's just talk about that. If you're right and the Canucks win in 4 after sweeping the Edmonton Oilers in 4, what are they going to say? What are they going to say? What can they say? That's the bigger question. Exactly. Exactly. It's not the 80s, 90s. That's my point. The Oilers are getting swept in the conference finals if they somehow win. Tripzzz leaves next summer. That could happen. I don't know if it will. I'd be surprised if the Oilers get swept in the playoffs. Canucks still have never had their first overall pick, 54 years and counting. No cups, no first overall picks. Yeah, the Oilers had 4 number 1 overall draft picks. Vancouver's never picked first overall. I know this year would have been the best year. Go get Bedard. Oh, that would have been awesome. Yeah. All right, let's see. Callum, Oilers' pride comes before the fall. They might get humbled. I think they will. I think we're going to find a way. We find ways to win. That's what I like. Jim says Canucks have a very good chance of winning. I never said they didn't. Yeah, and that's cool. I think it's going to be a close series. I'm with you. Yeah, the betting odds do say different. Vancouver is the huge underdog. That is true. And that's okay, because see, this is what it's saying. It's like everyone thinks they know what's going to happen. You know how many people picked the Toronto Maple Leafs to beat the Boston Bruins this year? How many experts said that and were dead wrong? I predicted that the Toronto Maple Leafs were not going to beat Boston. I had no idea they were going to go to 4 Game 7s and lose to Boston every time. That is crazy. Mark, good question. Can't we all just get along? The answer is no. I understand that, but I wish the answer is yes. The NHL changed the draft because the Oiler tankers were losers for a decade. Yeah, it's true. See, even some of these comments that are in here, I think they're disrespectful and rude. I won't post these ones. And sometimes I post things by accident. Like even tonight, I posted a couple comments that I'm not happy with. I didn't read it all the way through. I should have read it through. I hope if the Oilers lose, the Canucks win. Yeah, I feel the same way about the Oilers, but I don't hate the Oilers and I don't hate their fans, but I don't mind going back and forth with them. That's a little too much. Hate on the Oilers, exactly, but do not use profanity, please. Exactly. And that's why I have mods in the chat, because I don't want this getting out of control in here. So many people want to say things and just be completely rude. I don't love that personally. We haven't lost one playoff game to Edmonton yet this season, Callum. We've lost in the past, but we've only played them, I think, twice. I don't think we may have never even beaten Edmonton in the playoffs before. in the way of a series. Soon the Oilers will be paying McDavid $16 million, Draisaitl $14, Nurse $9.5, Bouchard $12. Good luck. Yeah. I think their team's going to look different. They need to win now. So it's crazy. Nurse gets $9.5 million. I do not think he's worth it, but lots of players get paid more than they're worth. We know that too well with Louis Eriksson, right? Daniel, nothing wrong with a bit of trash talk. We just need to make sure that talk stays about hockey. Yes, I agree. Yes, Ryan Whitney did give up on the Oilers earlier in the season. If I was an Oilers fan, I'd tell him to cheer for a new team. You know what? He also came out and apologized, and he said that he'll live with that regret for the rest of his life. So, if I was a fan, I'd forgive him. Best way to deal with Oilers fans, the block button. But here's the thing, Jack, you're right. If you don't want to engage in the conversation, that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hit the mute button, hit the block button, do whatever is best for your own mental health. But for me, it's still interaction. It's still people watching my videos. It's still having fun with the sport for me. I like it. I like it. I think there's a line, and I think that people have gone too far. Okay, I have no clue who will win between the Canucks and Oilers. Too early. Yeah, exactly. Even in here, guys, let's keep it calm here. There's a little bit things. Hey, man, I am very happy with my mods. Trust me when I say that. Yes, you're going to get timed out for saying some things. I do want I run a clean one. That's this is mean like you will not hear me swearing on this channel. You're not going to hear me swearing. So I apologize if that offends you, but that's where I'm at. Yeah, exactly. See, Sparky, my block and mute button is certainly getting a workout on Twitter. I know that that it is going to be brutal during this playoffs. I get it. I totally get it. I think Oilers fans, I don't know what is their beef. Like, I mean, I would be mad too if my team got swept in a season series and then I got to play them again. I also think if I was an Oilers fan, I would think that I was going to win that series. The Oilers should win the series. They have tried to build this team to win the Stanley Cup. But here they are. Like, listen, if we beat the Oilers, shall I say, when we beat the Oilers, and if Colorado beats Dallas, that's a very bad matchup for us. Why? Because we didn't win one game versus them in the regular season. Why is it different for us in Edmonton? I don't know. And you're right, Jim. We're fans of different teams. It's just a game. But here we are. We all think we must win, right? Yeah, exactly. And you do, and this is why you play the game. Everyone says Dallas is better than the Avs. Avs just showed up. You can't say that. Like, there's no way there's everyone's going to be right that Edmonton is going to beat Vancouver. You might be, but I think Vancouver has something to say about it. Yeah, Matt, and you're right. You've seen Oilers fans cheering Demko getting hurt and celebrating it, and there are fans like that. I just think we can't be like that, and that happened in our stream. Saying I'm just hoping, and I think my fans that were in our stream or my stream were just joking. Maybe they're serious. I don't know because I'm not in the same room with them, but I hope not. Hey, shelving shelves. I understand you're upset, man. Nobody wants to get timed out. I get it. But I do have some standards in here, and I do want to keep it that way. So I'm sorry. But yeah, I want to keep it clean in here. So that's just me. But Jim, you're right. All fan bases have toxic fans. Jack, how many people in the 2011 riot are actually diehards? To be honest, I think most of them are just good people who want to start. Sorry, I think most of them are just people who want to start violence, and it was an excuse for them. Some were. I also think there were some good people that got caught up in the emotion of the disappointment of seeing all this stuff. They thought it was fun, and I think they've really regretted their decisions. I think they've learned from their mistakes. Yeah, so guys, just a reminder, just to refrain from some certain words in this channel. Yeah. We gonna sick them, JT or Lindholm or on McMuffin, and we'll get depth scoring to beat Edmonton. Edmonton D is fragile at best, and if we frustrate them, we win. I agree. I agree. I don't think we can shut down McDavid. I think you have to slow him down. Yeah, I mean it's 1990 to 2024. That's the last one, right? Yeah, I can send it to you. It's all over. It's just one of their latest ones. It's the ones of them crying on it. It's all over Twitter too. Jack, they would say technically we controlled the play 5-on-5 in expected goal. Yeah, exactly. And we only had 12 shots on goal, and there's lots of things to say about us, right? Nobody knows, Jim. You're right. Nobody knows we're making predictions. And it's from Twitter. It's on YouTube. John, that it's all over the place. So, but Twitter is a cesspool of trash talk for sure. For sure. Shannon, I like it. I think Vancouver Canucks will beat Edmonton in 6. I think that's respectful to say. That's great. I mean, if someone comes in here and says the Oilers are going to win in 6, cool. We're going to find out, right? If the Canucks win game 1, all that narrative about the season series comes back despite the media's efforts to discredit it. I agree. But what if here's the thing. If Edmonton wins the first game, it's going to be a windstorm. I mean, a snowstorm of comments, right? It's going to be crazy. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dale, welcome to the stream. I don't know why you're not getting notifications for this, Jacob. I'm not sure. Hey, good to see you, Canucks Digest. I'm looking forward to our collab soon. I'm guessing the Canucks take the series in 5 or 6 games. I'm worried how toxic this series might be on social media. It's going to be toxic. It's been quite bad already, and game 1 hasn't even started. It's a great point. It's a great point. And this is part of the rivalry, right? It's just like going back and forth. But I just think we can all do better. Right, man? I mean, you're right. We won 5 cups in the last 50 years, and then it's like it's like me saying, what you're saying, like me saying we won when we were the Vancouver Millionaires, right? Exactly. I hope a Canadian team wins the cup. We can all agree on not liking Montreal. I actually like Montreal, so I don't love Montreal, though. I'm not hoping that Montreal wins a cup anytime soon. Don't get me wrong, but I don't hate the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, personalized. Believe it or not, Vancouver lost to Edmonton back in the 80s during the playoffs. Just FYI. I don't hate the Oilers as my hometown, Edmonton, Alberta, so I can laugh at my dad in Edmonton, Alberta. So, yeah, exactly. I have really good friends that are Oiler fans. I have no problem. Yeah, exactly, man. The Maple Leafs have a loyal fan base. They're very angry right now, just like all Canadian teams. Really awesome to see, actually. But the best fans are Canucks fans, thick and thin. I like it. I like it. Exactly. Exactly. He's got a good point, doesn't he? So can laugh if the Canucks beat the Oilers. Yeah. That's good. I hope the Canucks win just so you can bug your dad. As a Flames fan, I think we're pretty chill fan base. Yeah, listen, I cannot stand the Flames, man. I cannot stand the Flames. I do not want you guys to win. I like beating you in preseason and regular season, postseason. You're gonna hear me say that. You're gonna know that that's me. Um, I don't know why we can't stand you like more than the Oilers fans are, but I think the Oilers fans can't stand you more. Just saying. I think Oilers fans hate the Flames the most. But yeah, I'm not a fan of your team. So and you're not a fan of mine, right? I don't think any fan base is chill. I don't think any fan base is perfect. I don't think any, but I think there's a lot of great people in every fan base. I also think there's a lot of people who aren't so good from each fan base. Rome. Oh my goodness, it's only a game. It's like Jokovic, right? For the Denver Nuggets. He's like, "Oh, we won. I get to go home." He was more excited about going home than winning championship. And the fans are like, "We're the best. We're awesome." It's like, "We're doing the parade." What's the parade? "Oh, I want to go home." He didn't care. Us as fans care more sometimes than the players do. Only time I used block was to a robot that was blocking everybody. Yeah, the bots are crazy online, especially on Twitter. It's wild. You think you have lots of followers, and you look and you go, "Oh, I just got a lot of bots." Jack, I actually like the Flames more than the Oilers now for sure. You know what? The longer this goes on, the grosser it's going to get. So, yes, it's different than the regular season, but I know that the playoffs are harder and the Canucks are playing harder. Yep. Just don't do what my Flames did when we played the Oilers. I don't even remember what happened. Nick says anyone who ruined reputation for all Canucks fans. Anyone who ruined reputation for all Canucks fans. It's sad. Rioted. Anyone who rioted ruined reputation for. I know. It's sad. My brother was there. He left early because he heard people saying, Mike, he said people were saying we're going to riot either way. So he left early. I got home at 5 a.m., went to work at 6 a.m. That's crazy. I'm glad you're okay in that too. Yeah, unfortunately, it's sad, isn't it? Personalized. And was tackled by police and pepper sprayed when I asked for help finding my dad. Wow. Mike, I didn't know that story. I'm so sorry to hear that happened to you, man. 16 years old. That's awful, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. You know what? It's not a cold. It's just I forgot my water. Yeah, the watch party was fun, wasn't it, Dale? Secure some price. Welcome to the show. Love to know your take on this, guys. Love you. Plus, I'm a huge fan of your show. Big, huge fan of your show. Appreciate you guys. Think you're some of the best people on covering our Canucks. So I highly respect you guys. So hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. I got no problem with guys supporting his team. I agree. But just don't come at us, right? Like you're gonna come at us like if Ryan Whitney wants to come at us and say that we've won jack squat, yes, it's true. You're right. But Oilers haven't won jack squat since 1990. So it's not like they've been any better than us in all seriousness. So if winning making the playoffs and winning playoff rounds isn't good enough, then they're not good enough either. Right? Yeah, and that was fun. Thanks, Shannon. I'm so glad you're here. We'll do another one sometime. I just don't know when we're going to do the next one. I think there's a game 4 again is on Sunday, so I don't know. But it's Mother's Day, so I won't. No, that's this weekend. It's Mother's Day. Is it next week? Yeah, I wouldn't plan one this Saturday. Mother's Day. Oh man, I don't want to get. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I think our goalies are better than yours, but POA series. Okay. Oh, but use Calgary. You know what? I also think Markstrom's really good. I just think you haven't surrounded him with the right talent. So, Trev, what's your opinion on social media and fandom? It gives an outlet for fans to express themselves, but toxicity, I can't say that word right now, seems to be more magnified compared to 30 years ago. You know what, Rome? To be honest, 30 years ago, there wasn't really social media. I think that humans are flawed, that we're broken, that we say things we shouldn't. I think it just has amplified the human condition, that we're broken people. A lot of people who have social media shouldn't, but everyone has money to buy it has the right to buy it. And I'm not saying I want to clamp down on people and they're being able to express themselves. I just don't think that some people are mature enough to handle it. And so I don't think it's worse than it was. Like there's a lot of things, and you can name whatever huge topic we thought that we were better than. COVID has amplified how divided our country is, how brutal people are towards one another. There's still wars going on. There's still racism that's happening, unfortunately. There's still awful things that are going on in the world, but now it's covered. And people are saying some brutal things online and doing some brutal things that are getting caught on camera or being flaunted on camera. So I don't mind that. I don't mind social media. It's like everything in moderation, right? Like social media in moderation. But I think there's, we can cross the line no matter what it is. And I just think that's what's happening. Those Leaf fans, I actually feel bad for. I do too. One of my closest friends is a Leaf fan. They need a core player named Mitch traded and a new coach. I heard today that Dubas wanted to trade him last year, so Shanny fired him for it. And if that's the truth, man, they were dead wrong, man. I made a video about trading Marner for Miller, which I didn't think was going to happen, but that was when everyone in the fan base, not me, wanted to trade JT Miller. So I'm like, what about Miller for Marner? And you should see the comments. If you go back, you can go scroll down and see that one. The Leaf fans are so angry at me. They would not want JT Miller. And then the Canucks fans were like, absolutely nobody wants, what did they say, that snowflake or something like that. They didn't want Marner. Both fan bases were really mad at me on that video. That was pretty funny. Yeah, unfortunately, they will be bad for a while. Yeah, because who's the prospects in the pipeline, right? Like I love Kuzmenko, and I really like Markstrom. I really liked Zadorov off your team, and I also really like Tanev. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's going to be a while. My grandpa loved the Calgary Flames. I had such fun watching games with him and seeing Theo Fleury breakaways. Yeah, Theo Fleury breakaways. Flames hurt me as a young Canuck in '89. The puck was kicked in. You all need counseling. Monty, you're hilarious. Yeah, the Flames won't be good until we get our new arena. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to rebuild that team. It took Vancouver a long time, took Edmonton a long time. Rebuilds do not happen fast in the NHL unless you're like building from scratch, like Vegas, like Florida, like some of those things. Major Mass Spec, good to see you. Trash talk aside, I'm calling the Canucks in 7. I'd give the edge to Edmonton's forwards overall, Vancouver's defense overall, and then I'm calling the goaltending toss up if it's Skinner versus Shilovs. I mean that's probably pretty accurate. I was at work 2011, but made it home. That's good. Yeah, that's pretty cool, eh? Let's carry some price in here. When my dad found out, he actually sided with the Vancouver Police and said they were doing their jobs. I should not have run up to them like I did. Then gave me a huge hug and drove me home. Wow. That is such a crazy story, man. Hey, good to see you. Welcome. You can cheer for the Oilers here. I just think we're going to beat you. So just saying. Yeah, I remember when Markstrom was a Canuck. It was awesome. See, this is what I'm talking about. Where? Golfing, right? I look like I'm about to cry. Really? That's funny. I'm not. But social media is about being behind a wall so you don't feel like you have to face consequences if you exactly. It's keyboard warriors, right? Totally. Extremely pregnant and relevant. Replied, I did. I don't know how. I did respond to your question. I actually talked about it for quite a long time. Did you miss it? Did I miss the other question you asked? I don't know if I've missed it. I do apologize if I've missed it. There's been a lot of comments here tonight. Yeah, I did talk about this. Yeah. I just took a while to get to it. I wish that cell phones did not come in and all the computer stuff and Facebook, as people don't go out as much as they did when they all the tech came in the world. Yeah. But we're guilty of it too, Shannon, right? Like, how much are we on our phones now? Tons, right? Tons. Everyone used to criticize all the kids. All these kids are they go hang out and they're on their phones the whole time. Man, adults, we're not much better. Honestly, we're not much better. Yeah, man, I agree. Whoever wins, I expect the series to be fun for all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Miller's attitude this year really showed some maturity there and really benefited him and the team. You know what's interesting about that is everyone came down so hard on JT Miller when he smashed his stick on the back of the thing and he was upset. You know what? I actually like that because it showed that he was passionate, that he hates losing, that he's not okay with how the team was playing. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And the fan base came down way too hard on him. And look how great he is now. And he did learn. He said, yeah, maybe it was too far. He's learned. You're right. He's learned. Good point. Yeah, right? Exactly. They were so mad at me. Miller, they would have loved Miller this year. Yeah, if you guys can hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Personalized. I live on my phone, Coach Rivalry says. EP40 is going to improve his game greatly in the more opened up style, the Oilers system. Yes, I hope that happens. I'm just not sure. I'm not convinced. But I hope he does. Oh, there we go. People getting along. Series should be good, Dreamer. You're right. Now, as you can tell, I am totally subdued. This has been more of a somber conversation, but we're having lots of fun together, right? But here's a good thing. Like, we don't want to lose, right? So if the Canucks don't win this series, it's all good, and the Canucks will go farther next year. And don't worry if you don't see a Stanley Cup while we are living. Don't worry. Exactly. This is just sports. Shannon, you're right. It does not matter. People the fandom goes too much, right? So I don't think Sekeres and Price are from the island, but I could be wrong on that. I can ask my friend who knows them. He would know. Maybe they are. Yeah. Answering to anything in the palm. Yeah. We can talk to anyone in the world at any point. It's wild, isn't it? Next step is brain chip in the head. I'm not going to get one of those. And you know what? It's gonna get violent, right? It's gonna get nasty. There's gonna be crazy things that happen in series. I'm telling you right now, our blood is gonna boil. We're gonna be upset and frustrated, happy, all those things. So, I mean, that's why you watch playoffs, is because you don't know what's gonna happen. But playoff hockey is crazy, and it's fun to watch. But anyways, everyone, it's been an hour. I didn't think it was gonna go this long. Thanks so much for everyone being here. I hope that you have a great night. Can't wait for tomorrow night. I'm predicting Vancouver in 7. I don't know who's going to win game 1. I have no idea. I don't know how the series is going to go. All I know is I think it's going to be great. I just hope it's not a sweep by the Oilers. But other than that, I think it's going to be good. So thanks so much, everyone, for showing up, for being here. And good conversation. And Callum, I think you're right. Sekeres and Price think they have their fingers on the pulse of the Canucks fan base for sure. But I also go into their streams and make comments, and I send them encouraging messages as well. I would love to do some connecting with them and collabing with them. That would be awesome. So we'll see. Hopefully that can happen one day. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. And I know I'm a little subdued tonight. I think it's a serious conversation. And but of course, always, let's cheer on our Canucks. Go Canucks, go. Let's go beat Edmonton.